This is Proctor. This is my location at the Tallahassee Mall, and I'm glad to introduce you to my new spot. Come on in. As you can see, I have created a wonderful place here in the Tallahassee Mall, and these are some of my sculpture pieces I've done. This is one of my favorite pieces. She'll introduce you when you come in, and her name is Big Mary. Hi, Big Mary. This is her, and as you come along further, you see that I have paintings all around here. I have this is how you come in, and when you come in here, you can see I have an introduction of other people's works, not only my works, but some of the other people's works also. And this is Kim Clayton. I have Pat Juno. I have my pieces, which I like this piece. Also, I like Kim piece, but I also like this. Every girl was born to rise and be creative. Isn't that beautiful? And it's made of paintbrushes. This is beautiful. I like where I'm at right now. It's a beautiful, and I get a chance to show a lot of my work. Here's another piece that I like too. To see our children rise, education begins at home, made of nothing but cloth. And I make things out of anything. Come along, come along. This here is one of my favorite stories, my Grandma Penny story. Oh, how I remember when I was a child. I told my grandma good dog. She said, good dog, child, but they ain't worth a penny till you put them in and penny makes dollars. Grandma was very much right. Education begins at home, made of nothing but cloth. I don't want to show you the things out of anything. Come along. But here's the piece I like to introduce. This here is one of my favorite stories, my Grandma Penny story. Oh, how I remember when I was a child. I told my grandma good dog. She said, good dogs, child, but they ain't worth a penny till you put them to use, and penny makes dollars. Grandma was very much right. And here's another piece that I'd like to introduce you. I don't want to show you the whole museum because I want you to come and visit me. But here's a piece I'd like to introduce made of nothing but sweet equal sugars. Okay, this is a piece that in the Smithsonian, Anacostic Smithsonian in Washington, D.C., I have this wonderful painting hanging in the museum, and I'm so proud to know that this is one of the pieces that hangs originally is one of the pieces that they own in their museum, and that's in Washington, D.C. And as you come along, we don't want to show you everything, but we'll give you a glance of what's here in my museum. And I tell you, there's hundreds and hundreds of creation. We don't want to take them through everything, but we'll just show them a little bit, and we'll just show you a little bit and tell you that there's awesome stuff in here. I have collection of pieces I've made, found. This is some from Africa. This is some African pieces that I found 20 years ago. And I love them. I think they're wonderful. When you come in here, it's a very imagination. I have such imagination going on. This is something I've been doing from a child, how I love to make, create, and also use other people's art surrounding mine. This also here on the side is Miss Ruby Williams from Plant City, Florida. I have a collection of her works. And also we have a collection also of one of my artist friends that I meet. It's called the Klux family here. And also around these people's work is my work also. I have works here of also is Mrs. Thane. She's from Alabama, and this is her works. I have works of other people like Eric Legee. He's one of my best friends. I have Danny work. Danny paints sceneries from farms and stuff with people, and I have his work here. I have one of my best friends that I meet once a year, and in North Carolina. Her name is Teresa Gospel. Her work is here. And I want to introduce you a little bit to my son's works, which is up there. My son, his name is Christopher. He done all the birds, so this is a part of his works. We got several people here. Bailey, she did a baptism up there, and I got also other prints that I made and done and found somewhere along the road. Aline from Gainesville, I have her works here. And just, as you look around, we just want to introduce you to some of the things that I have in my museum. I also would like to tell you that I will be starting a class here, and that maybe I'll open a class where people can come in and make their own creation, things that I've cut out or things that they can cut out and make a gift for themselves. I also have flowers I've cut out. I like doing all kinds of things. I make jewelry. Sometimes I don't use things, or sometimes I take stuff and I won't use it, so I give people a chance to maybe, if they can't buy a piece of art, they would come in and maybe one day, maybe what they'll do is they would get a piece out of here, maybe a piece of jewelry just to help me and support me. So as you look around, it's so fun. It's so much fun in here. It's a shame. It's almost like a child playing with a toy. That's one of my favorite sayings. Art is like a child playing with a toy. These are my baby dolls. I did these baby dolls. I had these baby dolls probably for about 10, 15 years. They call the big eye babies. And the big eye babies are just of me. They're personally me. And I get a little hand story with them. And those babies are just like, hey, you look at me and you look at my eyes and you see, but you don't know what everything that I look at, somewhat it become a piece of art to me. So that's me and my painted up clothes. I always wear painted up clothes because everything I got is painted up. And as you can see, you can look around here. We see my grandma green stamp story. A lot of us remember green stamps, and you back in the day with green stamps, you know what happens with green stamps, that the moms or grandmamas had green stamp and they would put them in a book and they would save the green stamp, and they would get you something for the house. But my grandmother particularly got me baby dolls, and back in that day there was one baby doll, and my grandmother got that baby doll. I was so happy, and I was surrounded by all these baby dolls, and she said, "Don't be your sisters, Mary." So I kind of learned to grow up with grandma telling me that no matter what color you are, that you can become my sister, that we were sisters, and we were raised to be that way. This is another lady that I like her work a lot, and she's like Catherine Michael. She paint angels of people like Martin Luther King and different people. She paints Zora Neale Hurston and all these different people into angels, and she cut them out herself. This is another wonderful one message, and this is biblical. I have biblical themes around me a lot too. Train up a child in the way he should go, and when he's old, he will not depart from it. Well, you know that's Proverbs 22:6. So that's mean that we can train them up and then just watch them grow, and then let go and let God. That's what I do. And you know, as you can see, I got all kind of creations. Things I made out of nothing. This is a cool one to me because one day I had a lot of spoons and old forks, and I said, what to do with that? And when I thought about it, it said, this chef has the right tool to cook up a delicious meal. So I thought that would be, you know, really cool, because using the chef, his ingredients is love, time, makes a great cook. So this is what this chef do. He got lots of tools there, and all he wants to do is cook up a good meal for somebody, and that's a great chef piece, you know. And right up above it is the quitters make lovely quilts. You look at that there. You know, some people might have a friend, and they might sit there and they might somebody they just love to quilt with. Well, my grandmother had that same kind of friend that she'll sit down there, sit peacefully, and love to quilt together. You know, quitters do make wonderful friends. They often have the same love within you. Both of you all have them. We got one, the flower pickers. I make that, and I carve them. Sometimes I carve my own people with my saw, and I make that. And I like when I got the button mother. You know, mother, all a mother want to do is she's just like a button. She bring a child in the world and put it, it's like a garden, put a child here, and all you want to do is see that child become the best he can be. And these are the Watermelon Festival. I was born and raised in a little town called Lloyd, Florida, and my grandmother used to take me to the Watermelon Festival, which I like that a lot because it was the only time me and my grandmother got a chance to really go out and have fun together, and when we went to the Watermelon Festival in Monroe, Florida. So I love that one, and I love everything I do, to tell the truth. It's almost awesome to see some of the things. I feel like I'm a messenger almost, like everything I do, there's a message beyond it. I never do a painting and you can't read what it's saying. Like this is sticks and stone may break my bones, but word will never hurt. That's a lie. You know, words do hurt. People don't understand how words can hurt you, you know. So I'm so proud, and listen here, I found some tin. Someone gave me some tin from Atlanta, Georgia, and I used that old tin and made gifts with. This one said, let's stay together until we get as rusted this old tin. And here we got, look and see the angel is you. This happened to be one of my favorite stories, and I write stories behind it now. This is a true story. Out in my yard, I was sitting there in 1996, and I said, oh Lord, I said, I felt so good after meditation. I said, Lord, I want to see an angel. I looked up in the sky and a bright light shined down, and all of a sudden there was a I looked in the mirror and went to look in the barrel, and there my face appeared and said, look and see, the angel is you. It's the good you do. And every day I try my best. I don't know the day, but I have to do it, you know. I try to put my hands in doing something good every day, or doing something I could for somebody every day. So this is a beautiful message here, John 3:16. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish but have everlasting life. I'm going to miss, but I'll come back to that. And this is Mary McLeod Bethune-Cookman, one of my favorite women, who she's all, you know, just reading about her, talking about how she went out and sold things just to make her own college. Well, Bethune-Cookman, she did that. I feel a part, she's a part of me, that I'm doing that same thing today, making things, doing things so I can have my own museum, that one day people could see that Mary has made a museum, and if I can do anything, that you can do it too. Bless are the hands that paint, smile a little, you know, they give a smile. I like that, doing stuff I've carved out. And we got carrots are healthy. People don't believe that, but every time I take that juice and make some carrots, I feel good all over. And you know, and I also take all kinds of stuff, and I would make things out of this. I'm like right here. I would turn around and I would take my drop cloth. You know what drop cloth is? When you're on the floor, you don't drip too much paint on the floor. But that's what I would do. I would take my drop cloth off, and I would take it and I paint sceneries on it. Sometimes it'd be garden, grandmama, baptism, you know, just all kind of things. It's just enjoyable. The colors beyond is really beautiful. And if you come over here, and you're coming out towards my other part of my museum, what I call this is my rooster corner. And I sit down and I paint roosters, and I love painting roosters. I got so much going on in my head that I enjoy actually looking at it sometimes myself. This here, we coming around my hallway, this is fascinating right here. This is unbelievable. I have done these presidents. I have made every president it is. I've made out of nothing but Coca-Cola can. If you look down this hallway, you look at this is really cool right here to see all these presidents. We call this a presidential hallway. Well, I make things. What I do is I took them and I make messages. And actually, these presidents, I'm very enthused with not personally their life and what they did, but I'm very much enthused with what the sayings that they did, the sayings that they quoted. I'm very much enthused with that, because these guys actually quoted some good things that if today we would take heed to what they quoted, that we would do better than them. And these are some of the quotes over here. As you can see, I started quoting. This is going to be the wall of quotation. And also, as you come around here, there's a lot of things I'm adding on in my museum as I go along. This is I'm using the presidential wives. I done cut out. I think it's 40 of them, and I'm cutting them out, and I'm also right beyond them. I'm going to put a message also, because I believe that behind every good man there's a woman, and I believe that every president, when they spoke what they had to say to the public, they spoke it to their wife first, and their wife was able to say, yes, honey, let's make that. You know, let's make that a part of your conversation with the people. Let's quote this, and this is going to be one. She's just starting. I got my others where I'm really getting into the other ones, you know. So as they come along, I'm doing different things. I might put the pictures here. I might even add children, a dog, or something about at that time that was doing good around them. Mostly what I do is try to keep up and make things showing the goodness in things, showing joy, hope, and peace. As you're coming around, we're coming to some of my doors. This is a good one. If a tide should come, make sure your boat is anchored in the Lord. That was one of my early ones that I done, because I wanted, you know, I had tides all over, but the tides have faded. But the message is real, and the message is good. This is fish love fish. You know, who if a fish can love? You know, just things I usually get around and making up. And liquid nails. This is liquid nails. This is one of my pieces that I done the president's face off of liquid nails. This is music heals the body, mind, and soul. And as you can see, it got a rhythm of music all the way around it. And I also do a lot with people of color. Dr. King, you know, how he was there. And when, you know, Black History Month, anytime you want to come, sometimes I have I've sold them or gave them to museums or gave them to people. But there's a collection of my Black history people that have done great things. And this one here I like a lot. That they were our soldiers, and I'm making that into a piece of soldiers. They're being made into soldiers for this coming Black history. And this here is a wall. This is a guy I collected when I first. This is the first guy work that I ever collected down in Plant City, Florida. There was a man. He was in a bed. His name was Joe, and I collected his work. And Joe was down in the bed. He couldn't focus on anything. He was drawing, I think, with his feet, but he was shot down. And this is his work. And I went in, I said, Joe, I don't know what I'm going to do, but if I ever own a museum, I'm going to hang your work in it. So Joe is gone now, but I love what he did. And I told him if I ever get a museum, I will hang his work. This is Joe. I'm going to get some more information on him because I heard that other museums has collected his work. And you just grasp back in the back. I'm going to try to go all the way around and make things happen, you know, happen there. This is wow. I just got so much stuff and wonderful stuff that I've done. This is a beautiful piece about the rock and roll of Jesus Christ. You know, people don't think that. People look at this one of my first painting, but Jesus had a very rock and roll. He was rejected by his own people. He was betrayed, friends sold for 30 pieces of silver. He actually done so much that he went through so much for us, and that's why I love him so. So this is a blessing just to know that I'm in here and, you know, doing my thing, and I got a lot going on. And I'm hoping that you enjoyed it. I hope I enjoyed it. Hey, we didn't get the church benches up there. This is a church, some church benches that came from a church that I attended with my children, and I think it's like 11 of them, and I got 2 or 3 of them done already. So what I'm doing now with that is I'm creating, I'm doing maybe 4 of them, and I'm doing that, doing the creation with the benches and stuff, and I should be about finished with those when I get my other place. I guess they're going to give me another place. But this is the bench, the church bench.